My name is Teresa Shoemaker, and I had Johnson Chapter 6, Ethical Decision-Making and Behavior. Components of moral action include moral sensitivity, moral judgment, moral focus, and moral character. The first one, moral sensitivity, involves recognizing the presence of an ethical issue, need to know that an ethical problem exists before we can provide a solution. Many ideas prevent people from recognizing an ethical problem, such as people can't convince themselves they are acting morally when they clearly are not. People are reluctant to describe decisions to avoid controversy. In order to avoid these problems, there are steps to take to enhance ethical sensitivity, such as using moral terminology to determine whether it has moral implications, refusing to excuse misbehavior, active listening and role-playing, practicing humility and openness to other points of view, and accepting personal responsibility. Moral judgment includes includes two ideas: cognitive moral development and ethical blind spots. Cognitive moral development is a process by which people develop their moral reasoning abilities over time. There are 3 levels of moral development, including pre-conventional thinking, such as children who choose to obey to avoid punishment, or those who follow the rules to meet their interests. Conventional thinking, look to others for guidance when deciding how to act. Post-conventional principles, use utilitarian principles to meet the needs of the entire group and enhance rules to serve the greatest good for the greatest number of people. Ethical blind spots are biases or errors that undermine the decision-making process. Significant biases include overestimating our ethicality, implicit prejudice, in-group favoritism, forgiving our own ethical behavior, judging based on outcomes, not the process. Moral focus. Decision makers must be forced or motivated to follow through on their choices. People are motivated by a token economy, such as they can earn rewards, such as raises, promotions, public recognition for their hard work and motivation. Emotions, sympathy, disgust, and guilt can promote people to take action, whereas joy and happiness can increase someone's optimism to live out moral choices and help others. Last one is moral character, and this involves overcoming opposition, coping with fatigue, resisting distractions, and develop tactics to reach their goal. They need to incorporate positive virtues such as courage, and this helps implement plans despite the risk and cost. Prudence helps choose best course of action. Reverence promotes self-sacrifice, and integrity. Leaders are true to themselves and their choices. Personal characteristics involve strong will and confidence, and internal locus of control, or people who follow this believe they have control over their lives, including what happens to them, and more motivated to do what is right. Decision-making formats. This includes Kidder's ethical checkpoints, SAD formula, Yash's 12 questions, and case study method. Kidder's ethical checkpoints. These are 9 checkpoints that can bring order to confusing ethical issues. If you follow this picture, these are all the 9 steps. So the first one is recognize that there is a problem, then determine the actor or actors, gather the relevant facts, test for right versus wrong, test for right versus right, apply the ethical standards and perspectives, look for a third way, make the decision, and revisit and reflect on the decision. The SAD formula is a formula that is built on 3 elements of critical thinking into moral reasoning. Situation, or the S, is the description of facts, identification of principles and values, statement of ethical issue or question. Analysis is weighing of competing principles and values, discussion of applicable ethical theories, consideration of external factors, and examination of duties to various parties. The last part is defense of the decision based on moral theory, rendering of moral agent's decision. That's the SAT formula. Nash's 12 questions are 12 questions to help businesses or groups identify responsibilities involved in making moral choices. So, as you can see, there's 12 of them, and I'll just read a few. The fourth one is to whom and to what you give your loyalties as a person or group and as a member of the organization. Number 9, are you confident that your position will be as valid over a long period of time as it seems now? And number 12, under what conditions will you allow exceptions to your stand? So you guys can read through these, and again, this helps identify the responsibilities for businesses or groups. Last one is the case study method, and this method is used for making investigating past cases and actually bringing it to the present case that you're having problems with. It's really good for medical diagnosis, and it can be groups of doctors, nurses, and other staff that meet to bring information, again, from the other cases to help determine an exact illness and form of treatment in especially troubling cases. And some steps that they use for the case study method include foster storytelling, which is bringing in the past cases to compare to this current one. Encourage deliberation of essential events and characters. Encourage the sharing of stories by everyone with an interest in the problem. And offer alternative meetings. Then the next two slides I set up comparison between the 4 different decision-making formats. So you can see the advantage and disadvantages of each. So this slide has the Kidder's ethical checkpoints and the SAD formula. Then this next slide has the other two, Nash's 12 questions and case study method. Again, this is just listing comparison between the ideas. You can see the advantages and disadvantages of all the ideas of decision-making format. And that is chapter 6.